The Puff by Henry Elmo Bawden. Jerome's headless corpse rose and began to pursue Esther and Fred. Adam screamed, watching his two friends climb as fast as they could to get away. Tina, Greg, and Shanna moved toward Jerome, trying to stop him. They were more aggressive than Adam had ever seen them before. Only a week ago they were happy and living in peace and harmony. Then the Puff came. Seemingly innocuous, those closest to it began to change. Within a few days, Jonathan was gone, but his body kept moving as if controlled by a remote. Where he was kind, peaceful, and lived only to make music before, he'd now turned into a creature of nightmares, walking with a will that was not his own, and becoming a host for strange white growths. While the infected became violent, the scariest part was that even without actual contact, the puffs spread. It seemed to Adam that all his little friends would finally fall prey to this fungal form of zombification. Rubbing his eyes, hands shaking, Adam sat straight and backed away from the anthill. Still watching the ants try to fend off what was left of Jerome the cicada's body, he was watching the now familiar puff escape the fungus on the corpse and land on their carapaces. Esther, Fred, and many others, recognizing the danger, were busy pulling debris to block the entrances to the anthill, leaving the most heroic outside to face their doom. Adam could see his family in the conflict. That would explain things since the Easter egg hunt. The puff must be getting them, too. Dad said that Uncle Solomon was a mindless and uncaring oaf. Maybe he had become a zombie. Adam stood up, walking from the back fence line, and sat down on a chair by the fire pit. He practiced the slow breathing that he had been learning by watching his parents after their stressful interactions lately, and then he looked around. His brow was dripping sweat, and his shirt was soaked. He would love to go to the pool, but nobody could drive him today. Instead, he watched as Patrick and Michelle, two of the chipmunks that had moved into his backyard last autumn, ran around after each other along the fences and over the garden beds. He could see the hole where Chuck, one of the neighborhood rabbits, had dug before spying Adam and running back over to Mrs. Moncito's more open backyard. "Mom, can I come in to play now?" said Adam at the back door. "No," came his mother's voice. "Get a drink from the hose and go find some friends to play with if you're bored." Adam made a face and said, "Fine," before shutting the door and stomping off. Making sure to shut the side gate behind him, he went down to the stream by the neighborhood garden. On his way, he scared Lydia, Jeff, and the new fawn that he hadn't named yet. "You're not supposed to eat from the garden," called Adam. "Old Man Sumner will get angry again if you do." Adam looked up because of the movement and noise as a medium-sized something hit the stream, sending up a splash. "Why are you talking to deer?" called Sadhu through splutters. "Why'd you fall in the water?" asked Adam, running up to the bank. "Trying to grab a crawdad, and your talking made me lose balance." "You get any yet?" "Look in the bucket," said Sadhu, a jagged grin spreading wide as he stepped out of the water. There were 5 inside. Adam's best record was 3 in one go, and that was using hot dog bits as bait. Sadhu went back to fishing, and Adam took a stick to play with the insect-like crawdads. "I wonder if these will get taken over by the puff, too," said Adam. "The what?" asked Sadhu. "The puff," repeated Adam. "The thing that's been turning all the cicadas and ants in my backyard into zombies." "You got zombies?" said Sadhu, moving over to sit by Adam. "So cool! How did you get zombies?" "It's not cool," said Adam. He was horrified at the thought. Sadhu just didn't know. He hadn't seen them. Adam did his best to explain the zombie situation to Sadhu, hoping that Sadhu could understand the horror. Instead, Sadhu got more and more excited, and Adam knew that for the next few weeks they would end up pretending to be zombies. They continued to talk and play until Adam saw his father's car go by on the main road. "Dinner time!" called Jennifer, Adam's sister. Adam ran to the sidewalk to head home. "You think they'll yell again?" asked Adam. "Maybe." "Has Mom said when you can play with Alice or Aunt Agatha again?" "No," said Jennifer, sighing. They went inside. Mother was trying to calm down little Benny as he had been fighting off a rash when they went inside, Mother was trying to calm down little Benny as he had been fighting off a rash recently. Dad's coat was hung up, and he was looking in the open fridge like it was a puzzle that needed to be solved. When the phone rang, everyone jumped like an air raid siren had just gone off. Adam didn't dare move for fear of being noticed. "Darn spam callers," said Adam's father, slamming the phone down and stomping back to the fridge. The mood was electric, and Adam couldn't seem to relax as his neck hairs stood up. He slowly took off his shoes and attempted to sneak to the stairs to get up to his room. His dad walked up behind him and began to shadow every movement that Adam made. Adam turned, and his father remained behind him. He started to speak, but his dad blurted out at the same time, cutting him off. He raised an arm, and his dad's shadow on the wall raised an arm. Adam started to grin, even though he was trying very hard not to. He walked straight up to the wall, turned quickly, and said, "Dad!" "What?" responded Adam's father, mimicking his tone. "Stop being so grumpy and help me cook. You too, Jen." "But I don't wanna," said Adam, semi-flopping. "Me neither," said Jennifer, trying to sneak to the basement. "Too bad," said father, fully flopping with his tie askew. "I don't want to adult anymore. You two gotta cook dinner. You two gotta cook the dinner." "Dad," repeated Adam, "stop being a kid." "Don't wanna. I'm gonna be a kid from now on, and you have to go to work and take care of everything." "Yeah," said mother. "Jennifer, you gotta take care of the baby, and I'm going on a cruise. Adulting sucks." Adam leaned against the wall and started to laugh, partially out of nervous embarrassment, as his mother and father began to throw full-size tantrums just the way he and his sister used to. As his father continued well beyond when mother thought it reasonable to stop, laughter began rising from the family room, which felt wonderful until Benny began crying again. Dad, knowing not to press his luck, went back to the kitchen holding Adam's hand, and they set about getting frozen meatballs in the oven while Jennifer got a pot of water boiling on the stove for the noodles. When they sat down to eat, Adam was feeling connected to his family again. Mother was smiling, and Dad was asking everyone about their day. Adam brought up Sadhu catching 5 crawdads in one go, but didn't say anything about the zombies. While everyone got sillier and sillier with their responses, Adam felt a darkness closing in. He couldn't stop thinking about the headless Jerome, and the more he thought, the more his chest hurt. After dinner came the nightly scripture and prayer, and then getting ready for bed. Adam threw his now-used floss in the trash and was just about to head upstairs as he passed by his father's office. His dad was busy getting his side projects finished before he could go to sleep for the night. Adam paused for a moment at the door. He wanted to talk to his dad, but the thought of disturbing him made Adam's heart beat faster. He also couldn't quite get his legs to work enough to move him toward his bed. Ignoring the problem seemed worse somehow than what he felt like he needed to do. "Dad," said Adam. "What's up, son?" responded his father. "Is Uncle Solomon a zombie?" "If I've ever met one," said his dad, not looking away from his screen. After another moment, Adam continued toward the staircase. Adam stopped with his right foot on the first step. From the bedrooms above, he could hear Benny crying and his mother calmly cooing at him. Adam nearly began crying himself. He needed comfort, but not the kind Benny was getting. He needed to understand, but the thoughts were too big for him to handle. Adam sat down and began counting and breathing. He would have to face his dad, really face his dad, if anything was going to change or improve. He did one more run through the breathing, and with a tight chest and a stomach that felt like rolling waves, he walked back to his dad's office. "Dad?" said Adam. "What, son?" responded his father, frustration sneaking into his voice. "Are we going to become zombies too now?" "Hope not," said his father. "Otherwise no one else will be there to stop the horde. Now get to bed. I have a lot of projects still due tonight." "But I don't want to be a zombie," said Adam. "It would be horrible. I don't want Mom, Jennifer, or Benny to get their heads eaten. If it's anything like what happened to Jerome, it'll be awful. Why couldn't anyone have stopped Uncle Solomon from catching it? Isn't there anything we can do to help?" Adam's father looked up for the first time during their exchange. He looked long and deep into Adam's eyes, which were starting to fill. Adam blinked under his father's searching gaze and wiped the tears away before they could drip. "Hold on now," said Adam's father. "This isn't going the way I thought the conversation was playing out. I think you need to explain things a little more clearly to me." "Sorry for bothering your work," said Adam, wiping his eyes again. "No need for that," said his father. "This is probably more important. Come in and sit." Adam did as he was told and sat in the little chair in the corner. "Now what's this about zombies, son?" "You said Uncle Solomon was a zombie," said Adam. "I did," said Adam's father, "but it wasn't meant to be taken literally." "But zombies are real," said Adam. "If Uncle Solomon isn't a zombie, then why can't I see any of my cousins anymore? Is it my fault? Did I do something wrong again?" "No, son, you're doing just fine. If anyone in this family's to blame, it would be me. I disagree with a lot of the things your uncle and a few of the other family members have been saying and promoting. In fact, we're at such odds that it's become painful to be around each other, and I don't want you kids to get caught in the middle of the fight." "See, Dad, that's what I mean. Is whatever Uncle Solomon caught spreading to Bob, Jeff, and Nancy? Are you worried I'll catch it from them?" "In a way, son, yes," said Father, looking a little ashamed. "I don't want you catching any wrong thinking." "So he is sick. Shouldn't we try to help him get better?" "I've tried, son, but he won't listen." So you need to keep him away because he wants to hurt me with them? Said Adam. No, son, he doesn't want to hurt you. He loves you kids and would bend over backwards to help you. But, Dad, said Adam, if he doesn't want to hurt us and he cares about us, then why? Well, I mean... Adam's father's brow bunched up tight as he looked at the floor for a moment before responding. You know what, son? I screwed up. I've been a hypocrite and have been sending you kids a messed up message. You remember how I told you that the differences in people around us were good? Yes? That was the right message. Everything else was from me being human in a bad way. I'm sorry. Adam's dad leaned in and gave him a hug. It's okay, Dad. I love you, said Adam through giggles as his dad had started to tickle him while Adam was trapped in the embrace. I love you too, said his father. Now get to bed. Adam began walking to the stairs, but stopped when he heard the soft lullaby from his mother floating down. If he went up now, he would wake up the baby, and he didn't want to get in trouble for that. He would have to wait a few moments until he was sure he could sneak into the room without causing a disturbance. Hello, Solomon? Came his father's voice. I know it's been a bit, but I needed to call and apologize. No, it was every bit as much me. I'm sorry. Adam snuck back to the doorway and peeked around the corner. Well, I don't want to get into that with, I don't want to get into that again with you. I just want to let you know that I love you and that I hope we get to see each other again soon. Maybe for the upcoming reunion if it's still on, or else we can catch a game one of these Saturdays. It would be better to talk through anything deeper than that in person anyway. I hope things have been going well for you. Adam pulled away from the doorway. Adam, came his father's voice, I do need you to explain what you meant by zombies are real, but it's past your bedtime, so please stop sneaking around and we can talk in the morning. Good night. Night, Dad, said Adam. His father went back to talking with Uncle Solomon on the phone, and Adam, smiling, tiptoed upstairs to dream about crawdads and zombie bugs.